Welcome to Big Faces Worldwide, where we talking nothing but this boxing, man. What's good, fam? Hey, listen, man, first off, I want to welcome everybody to the channel. And if you're new here, I want you to be here. So think about hitting that subscribe button as we stay knee deep into this boxing conversation, man. Now, before I begin, man, I just want to give my condolences to Tony Harrison and his family, man. He lost his father recently to this COVID-19. There's a lot of people out there who does not seem to respect it, who does not seem to think it's real. Listen, fam, it's real, man. It's real. It's taking the lives of people's loved ones, man. So I hope everybody is, taking heed to the necessary, taking the necessary precautions, man, to keep safe. But I want to talk a little bit about Terence Crawford, man. Terence Crawford, WBO welterweight champion of the world. He did a recent interview, man, where he said, "I will make Errol Spence Jr. look ordinary." You understand me? He said, "I will make him look ordinary." Now, Terence Crawford and Errol Spence, man, the hype between the two of them have been circulating through boxing for a long time now. You know what I mean? For a couple of years, man. Both of these guys are considered to be number one and number two welterweights in the business right now. And the fight fans and the boxing pundits, everybody is demanding this fight. But we ain't getting this fight. You know what I'm saying? We're not getting this fight, and we're wondering why. In a recent interview, Terence Crawford also said that, I'm going to read it word for word. He said when he called Errol Spence, he told him, "I'm going to beat your ass." You know what I mean? He said, "When we get in the ring, I'm going to beat your ass. Let's just do that. When I say I'm going to fuck you up, I really mean I'm going to fuck you up. I don't want to create no fake beef. They could say we for real. Then we at the bar drinking beers together afterwards." You understand me? There was a video I made back when Wilder and Fury first fought the first time, man. They was on stage. I think it was, the first press conference. They was on stage, man, pushing and shoving and talking all types of shit, man. And then afterwards, there was pictures and video of them in the back, sitting in the love seat next to each other, drinking a brew or water, whatever they had, man. But it clearly wasn't real at that moment. We all know later on, it became a real beef. But at that time, they were good friends. I mean, they both had a lot of respect for each other, and that's how they carried it. Terence Crawford said he don't want none of that shit. He don't want no fake beef created, man. He just want to go in there and knuckle up. Now, Errol Spence Jr., man, I think it's going to be hard to make a cat like Errol Spence look ordinary, man. Errol Spence is everything but ordinary. He has proved that, in his last couple fights, beating Mikey Garcia the way he beating him, shutting him out, shut him down. Mikey came up in weight, but the way Errol Spence beat him, man, was just a class act. He showed his boxing skills. He showed, a lot of ring generalship, things that people didn't say, that people said that he didn't have or that he lacked going into the Mikey Garcia fight. And Errol Spence Jr. showed everybody that. Then he went into the Sean Porter fight, and he fought Sean Porter's fight tick for tack, man, and ended up walking away with the victory, and also Porter's WBC strap, man. So the question is, man, are we ever going to see Errol Spence Jr. versus Terence Crawford? I don't know, man. I don't know, man. And people like to take things that some fighters say out of context. Like right now, I hear people saying, "Oh, Bud said he don't want to fight Spence right now. He don't want to fight him right now. He's scared. He's scared." They're taking that all out of context, man. What Terence Crawford said is that I want to see Errol Spence come back and fight first. I want to see if he's the old Errol Spence, because when I beat him, if I stop him or beat him bad, I don't want no excuses. I don't want nobody saying that, he just was in a car wreck, that he wasn't the same. He said he don't want no excuses. So therefore, I want Earl Spence to go get another fight in and show everybody that he is still that dude, and then I want to fight him. People like to mix words up and twist things around. That's why Bud don't like to do a whole lot of interviews now with with lesser known boxing media, man. He only want to go with the big guys. You know what I'm saying? But a fight between Earl Spence and Bud Crawford, I believe, it gotta happen, man. It gotta happen. If not, it doesn't seem like. Let me say this. Let me stop. Let me back up a little bit. Man. Earl Spence Jr. is a monster. Let me say that. He has proved his mettle. He has proved his mettle and put his stamp on the welterweight division. There's no doubt about it. Who's the face of the welterweight division? Now, Terence Crawford, he has not quite done that yet at welterweight. Yes, he came and defeated Jeff Horn. Jeff Horn, no matter what you all say about him, Jeff Horn was the guy who beat up on the legendary Manny Pacquiao. Jeff Horn battered and bruised Manny Pacquiao. You know what I'm saying? Although I did think Manny won that fight, but Jeff Horn beat him up, man. And he was able to walk away with the victory, man. So Jeff Horn had to, he had something to give. He was able to dominate, bust up the legendary Manny Pacquiao. And Bud went in there and dominated Jeff Horn. Made Jeff Horn look inferior, like everybody thought that he was. You know what I'm saying? Terence Crawford, in my opinion, I don't think Earl truly wants to fight him right now. For some reason, Earl is content with fighting the guys over there at PBC. He keeps screaming out Danny Garcia's name. Now I'm hearing reports coming out that he's fighting somebody from Mayweather stable, Mike Lee or some shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Earl Spence Jr., in my opinion, this is my opinion. Now, I love Spence. Spence is my guy. But I called it like I see it. I keep it a buck. You understand? Earl Spence Jr., man, his energy changes when Terence Crawford's name's brought up. I'm not saying he's scared of him. I'm not saying that, none of that. I'm just saying you gotta, if you're a realist and if you're down to earth, you got to admit that Earl Spence Jr. energy change when Terence Crawford's name is brought up. It's just simple, point blank, period. You hear Earl call out Danny. You hear Earl call out Pacquiao. You hear Earl call out Thurman. You hear Earl say that he wants all these fights. But you don't hear the same enthusiasm when talking about Bud Crawford. Now, yes, he said he wants to fight him. The fight's going to happen, this and that. And I believe that he do. But for some reason, I don't understand why he don't want to do it right now. Because if Earl Spence really wanted to make this Crawford fight right now, I believe it will happen. I believe we would have it. I believe we would have it. As long as Bud don't go in there, asking for, 40 acres and a mule and, just try to get a whole boatload of cash. He got to be reasonable. Spence is definitely the A side. Without a doubt, Spence is definitely the A side. That's why I put Spence versus Crawford. Spence has done more at the welterweight division. He's a unified champion. He's done 2 successful pay-per-views. Bud has done 2 terrible pay-per-views as far as revenue and numbers. You know what I mean? So Earl Spence Jr. is definitely the A side, and Terence Crawford, he got to understand that. Now, if he can't get a fight with Earl Spence, Bud has to move up to 154. And I believe at 154, he can get all the smoke he's looking for, man. All those guys up there. And I believe all those fights can happen. Those guys will be willing to fight Terence Crawford, man. You got Jamel Charlo. You got Tony Harrison. You got Julian Williams. You got Jason Rosario. You got all those dudes up there at 154, man. I think Bud, I think Bud would do well up there with those big guys up there, man. And like I did a video yesterday saying how fighters in their 30s, they got to start taking chances, man. I was talking about Gary Russell Jr. Terence Crawford's on that list too, man. Terence Crawford will be 33 years old this year. 33 years old, and he has not had that big money fight, that tremendous back and forth, crowd electrifying fight that us fight fans gonna be talking about for 10, 20 years. He has not had that fight yet. So at his age, the clock is ticking. You got to put your foot to the metal, and you got to take chances, man. You got to take chances. And I think Terence Bud Crawford, if he can't find a meaningful fight out of Earl Spence, Manny Pacquiao, Sean Porter, then you got to move up to 154. You got to go up. You got to go up and get that smoke up there, man. I don't think you'll have no problems with them guys up there. Bob Arum, top ranked. They can make the fight with what's the dude's name? Teixeira, who's over there with Golden Boy, who got the WBO super welterweight title. Patrick Teixeira. I believe Bud can make that fight. I believe them two can get in the room and make that fight happen, man. And if Bud can capture that belt, I believe those other guys will fight him. They ain't got a whole bunch of 154 obstacles like they do at welterweight. You know what I'm saying? They got some fights they can make, but it's not the same as at welterweight, man. I believe those guys up there, they want all the smoke, man. They want all the smoke. There's no clear-cut, definitive badass at 154, man. Although I would lean toward Jermell Charlo leading the pack. But those guys are all in the mix right there. Erickson Lubin, you got all those guys up there, man. If Terence Crawford can make that weight, go up to 154, man. Take a chance, man. You're at that point in your career, it's almost over, man. The curtain is about to close, fam. We want to see you in your prime with a meaningful fighting the best of the best, an elite fighter. That was a big thing with Gennady Golovkin, man. It was a shame that we had to see Gennady Golovkin 34, 35 till we seen him fight a top fighter in Daniel Jacobs or even Kell Brook. Everybody avoided Triple G. You can say what you want about Triple G. He's a bum, this and that. He ducked Andre Ward, yada, yada, yada. But all the middleweights, they stayed the fuck away from Triple G. Triple G was dangerous. And these dudes didn't want to fight him. They did not want to fight him. Now, Terence Crawford, for some reason, he can't get these fights. Bob Arum's cheap as hell. Bob Arum don't want to pay to play. You're going to have to pay these boys from PBC to come over there and fight Bud. That's just it. And Bob Arum don't want to pay. You know what I mean? He don't want to pay. Offer Danny Garcia $3 million. Come on, fam. But then give Amir Khan, what, 5 to 7 million? Come on, fam. That's crazy. That's ludicrous. There's no way, there's no way Amir Khan is a bigger challenge than Danny Garcia. No way. They thought Amir Khan had a lot of fans. It was going to bring all these UK and Muslim fans. But he didn't, man. He didn't. Amir Khan was at one point considered one of the best welterweights, man. But, Amir Khan has seen better days. Amir Khan has been knocked out multiple times. And to tell you the truth, nobody really called for that fight except Keith Thurman. He said, let's see if Terence Crawford can handle even a guy like Amir Khan. And Terence Crawford went in there and whooped on Amir Khan. You know what I'm saying? But I hope Bud gets his opportunity to prove that he is one of the best fighters in the world. I hope he gets his opportunity to cement his legacy. He's already going to the Boxing Hall of Fame for all of his accomplishments at the lower weight classes, man. But I think the jump to 154 ain't a big jump. If you remember, we only had 8 weight classes. When this boxing thing first started, we had 8 weight classes, man. So 8 jumping up from 147 to 154, it's not that big of a deal, man, when you really, really think about it. You know what I'm saying? It's not that big of a deal. Bud and Mel Charlo was on Twitter, going back and forth. I'm sure everybody heard by now. And, Mel was just giving his opinion that he think his homie Earl Spence will beat Bud's ass. Bud got offended, took offense, and told him, I'm paraphrasing here, but he told him, don't make me come up there to 154 to show you what time it really is. You understand what I'm saying? So there is some interest in Bud going up there to 154. He said it. He said he can make the weight. You know, there was some talk before the this COVID-19 thing came out. There was some talk about, you know, Bud fighting that guy Patrick Teixeira back then. So 154 ain't out of the round, man. And I think Bud, he can't get the smoke he's looking for at 147. Go on up there to 154, man, and try your luck, you know, because the curtain's about to close, man. Like I said, Bud 33 coming up this year, man. But listen, I appreciate everybody tuning in, man. If you on social media, Twitter, Instagram, check me out at Big Faces Worldwide, all one word. Don't forget to subscribe to this YouTube channel, man. Share this video, man. Let's get this thing cracking, man. You know what I mean? I appreciate everybody who, you know, comes through on a regular. You know what I mean? I appreciate y'all, man. Thanks for the support. I appreciate it. But in the meantime and in between time, stay blessed and keep on supporting this sport that we love called boxing. Peace. I holla back.